Exposed? The moment a quiet request allegedly turned into public embarrassment. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from. In today's commentary, I'm following a story that's been spreading fast across entertainment circles and social media threads. It sounds unbelievable at first, but the way people are reacting suggests there's something deeper behind it. A rumored private meeting, a rising name connected to a major film, and a request that, if true, didn't land the way it was intended. Jaafar Jackson, currently tied to the highly anticipated Michael biopic, reportedly found himself pulled into a situation he didn't exactly sign up for. Meghan Markle, once an actress and now a global public figure, is said to have reached out for something very specific. Not a casual introduction. Not a simple conversation. Something more strategic. "I just wanted a chance to talk," one version of the alleged exchange claims. But that line hits differently when you step back and look at the context. Because this wasn't just about talking. It was about access. About positioning. About getting close to a project that already has massive attention before it even hits theaters. And here's where things start to shift. According to discussions circulating online, the meeting wasn't framed as a formal pitch. It was described as low pressure, almost informal. But beneath that surface, the intentions seemed clear. Meghan reportedly wanted Jaafar to help her get in front of the film's director. Not through the usual channels. Through proximity. Through influence. That's where the tone changes. Because Hollywood doesn't operate on favors at that level. Not for projects carrying this kind of weight. The Michael biopic isn't just another film. It's a legacy piece tied to one of the most iconic figures in music history. Early buzz alone has already generated millions of engagements online, with fans dissecting every casting decision, every leak, every rumor. So when a name enters that space unexpectedly, people notice. And according to what's being said, when the idea was allegedly passed along to the director, the reaction wasn't encouraging. It wasn't even neutral. Some reports claim it was dismissive. Others go further, describing it as outright rejection, with a tone that caught people off guard. The alleged response? That Meghan should reconsider pursuing A-list acting roles, and that this particular project wasn't a fit for her. Now stop there for a second. If that response happened the way it's being described, that's not just a closed door. That's a message. A very public one, even if it started behind closed doors. And this is where the story really starts to gain traction. Because online, people aren't just reacting to the rejection. They're reacting to what it represents. The idea of trying to re-enter an industry that has already moved on. The risk of relying on connections instead of momentum. The difference between visibility and actual demand. Some are defending her, saying ambition should never be criticized. Others are pointing out what they see as a pattern of overreaching into spaces that aren't opening naturally. But here's the part that complicates everything. There's growing speculation that this situation may not have been as straightforward as it seems. Some voices online are questioning whether this was a genuine attempt to secure a role or something else entirely. A test of influence. A quiet move to see who still picks up the phone. Either way, the outcome didn't stay private. And that's where the impact hits hardest. Because in an industry built on perception, moments like this don't just fade away. They reshape narratives. One minute, you're seen as someone transitioning into new opportunities. The next, you're being discussed as someone struggling to find a place. The shift is subtle, but it's real. And social media amplified it instantly. Debates started trending. Comment sections filled up. Some users broke down the situation frame by frame, treating it like a case study in how Hollywood power dynamics actually work. Others turned it into a broader conversation about status, relevance, and the invisible lines that separate different levels of the industry. What makes this situation stand out isn't just the alleged rejection. It's the way it highlights something most people don't see. Access isn't the same as acceptance. You can be known globally and still not be wanted in specific spaces. You can have visibility and still lack positioning. And when those two realities collide, the result can look exactly like this. A quiet ask, a strong no, and a very loud aftermath. So now the question isn't just about whether the meeting happened exactly this way. It's about what the reaction reveals. About how quickly perception can shift when an attempt doesn't land. because the turning point is clear. The door didn't open. And instead of staying behind the scenes, the story stepped into the spotlight. And once that happens, there's no controlling how it spreads. Sometimes, the biggest statement isn't what gets said out loud, it's how quickly the room moves on after you speak. If you thought that was wild, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. Wait till you see what was caught off camera.